Andy, attention's turned to the FA Cup this weekend. What are your thoughts going into the game?
Another challenge for us. Newcastle Town, we've done us homework on them. We know where their strengths lie and what they possibly could do for us. If we can nullify them and impose our game onto them, I'm sure it'll cause some problems. But yeah, full respect for Newcastle Town and what they've done so far. The league position probably doesn't reflect how well they've been performing. So again, my message is we don't become complacent. We approach like any other league game.
2 levels below us, and we know what the FA Cup's all about. So you've got to be wary of that, haven't we?
Yeah, and again, right now we're probably the biggest draw in the cup in terms of league position. So yeah, we are a scalp, and people always say these cup upsets. So we go there with the mindfulness that obviously anything that happens in a cup game, but if we prepare properly and make sure we get a mindset right, I'm sure we'll be fine.
What are your thoughts going into it in terms of squad rotation or sticking with what we've had so far?
Yeah, again, we want to keep the run continuous. What we're doing right now, I'm not going to disrupt it all. There may be a few changes, which we do, but like I said, the whole way through this season is no change makes us any weaker. It only keeps us the same because all the players are pushing each other. So right now we're in a good position where we have got fit players, apart from Carlton and Michael Kelly. So apart from that, we've got pretty much full squad.
I suppose the balance is you probably want to give a few a breather that have played virtually every minute, and you want to bring in the lads that perhaps haven't had many minutes at all.
Yeah, and it's getting that fine balance between making wholesale changes and making a few changes. I still think we've got players who are robust this season to continue the amount of games we've asked them. We've played, taking pre-season games into account, we've played 16 games in 2 months. So yeah, there may be a couple that rested, but overall they're still fit, they're still hungry to play games, and everyone wants to play an FA Cup. A manager once said to me, you'd be lucky to play 16 games in the FA Cup if you've had a good career. So yeah, everyone wants to play FA Cup games, and hopefully we can progress to the further rounds.
Obviously, you've had experience of the FA Cup as a player, and now it's time as a manager. What are your best memories?
Yeah, obviously it's the Chelsea game at Stamford Bridge with Scotland United. Taking 6,000 Iron fans to Stamford Bridge, going 1-0 with a Paul Hayes finish, and giving a good account of ourselves up until probably 80th minute. I think when they scored I think Crosser scored 2 on goals. I think. Yeah, great memories. Like I say, I've got Good Johnson's shirt. Mum and Dad have got ticket stub from the game and a picture. It's great memories. Yeah, hopefully we can get some great memories from cup games, because that's what you want. You want to leave a football career with those memories, and hopefully progress in these qualifying rounds to push ourselves against the best.
I know giant killings had happened in the past, but going 1-0 up against a millionaire team, that must have been surreal on the pitch for you.
It was, I think, it Mourinho's first FA Cup game. I think it was first season in charge with the likes of Drogba, Good Johnson, Kesman,
Yeah.
Aaron Robben. Yeah, so you had all the players out there at one stage. So yeah, it's great to test yourself against that, and yeah, it's a memory that lives long in your memory. Sorry. Yeah, I really enjoyed that game, and like I say, you see the 6,000 fans cheering you, and then obviously 1-0 it was surreal. Funny stat about that game is Michael Rankin played, and we had the GPS system, and then when you're in the higher division, you get cameras from all over. And the only time Michael Rankin sprinted in that game was to celebrate Paul's goal. So that's one memory that lives long there.
Was he even on the pitch at that point? Was he a substitute?
Yeah, he was on the pitch because he blocked my header. Yeah, we used that. I think that's the first time we used data when you went to Chelsea, because there's so many cameras around the stadium.
I suppose looking back at their squad that day, it shows what the competition's about. They showed respect for us that day, and looking at these rounds that we're not used to being in, that's what we've got to do to teams like Newcastle Town, isn't it?
Yeah, again, we respect the competition and the opponent, because anyone cause anyone problems on their day. Obviously, they're their ground. They know how to play there. It'll be another challenge for our players to go to a ground that's very similar to probably Quayle Park. So yeah, it'll be a challenge, but again, we're prepared properly. We've not taken our foot off the gas. We've been out all week. The players have been sharp. Players are educated on how we're going to approach the game, and like I say, concentrating ourselves, but obviously with that mindfulness of Newcastle Town strengths.
I suppose you'll look back at the game last weekend and be pleased with a lot of elements, a lot of chances created. I suppose it's just that final product you wanted more of last week.
Yeah, and again, it comes out. We've come a long way. The fans are disappointed, and we're disappointed that we got a 1-1 draw at home. But I've said along the way, there's not always going to be plain sailing and smooth. There's going to be bumps, so we have to look now. Sometimes it's good that we've had that little challenge early on in the season to see how if teams do sit back and soak up a bit of pressure, that we shouldn't change our style of play. And I'm probably at fault for that as well as a manager. Just the approach of the game, not saying we did approach, but when we had a lot of possession of the ball, we didn't move it quickly enough. And where we'll be getting it in areas of success in the further games, we perhaps built from too deep and became too expansive in possession. So learned a lot from that game. You could put it down to the management team of the curse of the month. So yeah, we've learned from that game, and hopefully we can improve.
A lot of teams do that, don't they? Particularly teams that are probably bottom half. We've had teams that come here that are up there and fighting. They'll play football, but the teams down the bottom will sit in, won't they? Yeah,
and again, it shows probably the respect that they give us as well. They know that the team we've got here is capable of pushing on. But yeah, you come up against challenges, and similar to us when we were at Brackley, we went there with a game plan of frustrating and picking up points on counter attack against similar South Shields. So we approach the game like they probably would as well. So we've got to be mindful that if they do that again, we can break it down. And again, we had 21 shots at goal, so we weren't. It's not as if we were keeping possession for keeping possession's sake. We were actually progressing into the final third. It's just the quality of the final third lacked. We had 21 shots, I think 5 on target. So that's the thing we've got to improve.
You touched on manager of the month, and you've got a new name for it, haven't you?
Management team of the month, yeah. The backroom team have been brilliant for me, and I don't take full credit because it's not a me thing. It's the whole backroom team and the players, obviously, if we go out there. So it should be management team of the month. So for me, it's nice to get that accolade, but nothing's done yet. It's 1 month, sorry. So a lot of months less remaining now. So again, we accept it. We're really grateful for it, but that goes to one side, and we concentrate on the next few games.
So you'd bypass all of that to get team of the season, wouldn't you? Basically.
Yeah, I'd love all my players getting a team of the season this year, and hopefully, if they do that, then we've done something right. So, as a coaching staff and a management team, we just want to get, like I say, we've got to approach one game at a time and see where it takes us over the season.
You touched on Carlton and Michael Kelly in terms of injuries. Whereabouts are they on their progress?
So Michael Kelly's probably going to be ready for Scarborough. He's been out today. We're managing his high speed running. Obviously, with hamstring injury, we've got to be mindful, but hopefully be back for next Saturday. Carlton has got a slight groin issue, so we've just got to get him looked at. He might need an injection. It's something to do with a bursa in his hip joint. So hopefully, again, we'll get that done pretty quickly and see where he is. It'll probably be doubtful for this weekend, if I'm being honest. But apart from them two, everyone else is fine.
Must be frustrating for Carlton. Had the suspension, he's seen Danny and Alfie fly out the traps and then get this injury himself.
Yeah, I spoke with Carlton. He's slightly frustrated, but he's buzzing that the team are doing well. But like I say, all strikers are quite selfish in themselves. They want to get on the pitch and score goals and be the hero. So, yeah, we know Carlton's eager, but we've just got to be mindful that it's probably his first real full-time season. So he will pick up the strains and little niggles because his body's been part-time, where he's trained Tuesday to Thursday and game Saturday. So to go from that to full-time, it just takes some adjustment. But he's keen and he wants to get fit. He's probably a little bit naive sometimes because his groin strain was probably, not groin strain, but groin issue was probably coming on a little bit, but he wanted to be out there and still try and impress, and that's probably why he's seen a little bit of lack of end product, because he's probably carrying some of it. So a little bit of education for Carlton is now, look, we've got a full squad that can deal with the strains of the league, and if you are feeling a slight little injury, then you drop yourself out because it could impact the rest of the team.
Just finally, a new ground for the fans to go to this weekend. And I think they like the FA Cup just as much as players and management, don't they?
It's always good to get, again, if you're in the first proper round, you you may get this game as well. Newcastle Town have, again, tough side, so yeah, it'll be a strange environment to see everyone, but it's good to tick these games off and see where we can test ourselves against opposition that a couple of leagues below, but still fighting for everything they've got. And again, the manager's done a great job there, so we focus on ourselves, but be mindful of Newcastle Town's strengths.